Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to episode 19 of Sleeping Gods, where we are the crew of the Manticore sailing around the wandering sea trying to acquire these totems to release the slumbering gods that will then grant us a boon of sending us back home to our world, because we are all from Earth as characters and we're stranded in this strange world of islands and magic and mystery and lots of food recipes and stuff like that. So, and lots of different quests to go on. I mean, tons. So if you haven't been following along, we're so deep in it, I'm not going to suggest that I guess you have to go all the way back and start from the beginning, because again, this is episode 19. But with that, let's do a little bit of a recap. In the last episode we did, I think we're close to getting another totem. We're going to this little cabin to try and see if we can find this blasphemous literature and destroy it. I have a feeling a totem is associated with it. And we also, in the last episode, spent a lot of time in Lynn's Grove. We got some rumors and some quests there. We got a couple of quests that we're going to try and solve. We also got blown off course and had to go back to finish what we were trying to accomplish there. And we are just sailing around, working it all out, trying to get a couple more totems before the end of the game. The timer, of course, is this deck here. It is the event deck, and we are, part the way through that already. We got a number of cards left to go, probably a few more episodes before the end of the game. The end of the game does not mean the end of your play, though. Even if you fail or lose, it's like there's like this time distortion. You go back and do it again with some better knowledge and better equipment. Now, I've been really dumb in my game because I've been so busy filming and talking and explaining things that I have not. The only thing I wrote down was the diving suit, and I marked a couple other small things. But there's a map that allows you to track where you got the totems and everything, so you can go back the next time and just get those right away if you want to, and you know exactly what you have to do. But I didn't do that. That said, we're all pretty healthy again. There's a couple people with a little fatigue on them, but nothing dramatic, and we're going to get ready to go on our journey to see if we can destroy this heretical book, right, and get it done. So let's get right into it and take that on in episode 19 of Sleeping Gods. Alright, as always, the first thing we're going to do is take our ship action. Now, we have just been to the deck, so we're going to have to go somewhere else. I got tons of command tokens, none out on the board, so I'm not worried about command at all. Though, I am fatigue is not a bad thing. Fatigue is okay. I also don't... Where's my cards with the captain? They seem to have just... Oh, I think I put them all out, because I had all these tokens. Yeah, don't have any cards with the captain. So, I think what we're going to do... Because I do have some things if I go to the galley. I'm trying to remember what it is. When a player cooks a recipe. No, I lost all those abilities. It's really frustrating. So one thing I'm not a big fan of in the game is that when you go through the event deck, you kind of reset and you lose some abilities. And so I have to keep remembering what some of them were. Yeah, I guess the only one that would affect us is going to the bridge to get an extra command token because of Laurent. But we're not going to do that. I don't see a point in doing that. We don't have any tokens and command tokens out on the board. So let's do this. We're going to go to the galley, which will allow us to draw a new card. It's going to be this one, engaged. Gain 1 command when you explore. I'm not too worked up about that either. And then we can burn a card. We also get 2 more command tokens. So we are loaded with command tokens. We can also burn a card, which is what we're going to do to remove a fatigue. That way we can get a fatigue off of somebody. And I'm going to take it off of Audrey. Audrey are the person that basically makes our ship go best. So I took that off of her. Now she is free of fatigue, and we can use her again if we need to. There's still a couple other people with fatigue. Kanan, Raphael, and Laurent have some fatigue on them, but not enough to worry about. That's actually going to be the end of our ship action, so we're going to go to our event and see what we get there. Let's take a look. A zombie merchant, okay. Half-zombified woman sells wares in an ancient boat. Trade with her. You may purchase any number of food tokens. Each set of 3 food tokens, any type, costs 1 coin. We don't have any coins. If you trade, draw fate 1 to 3, you get weakened, or bid farewell. We're going to bid farewell because we have a lot of stuff, as you can see, but no money. No money, honey. So that's our event phase. So we talked to this half-zombie merchant trader. That's really interesting. And it did nothing with her. He said, oh, we're loaded with food. We're good. We got We got supplies, gear, relics, command. We're like on top of the world right now, so we didn't trade anything with her. But next we're going to start to take our 2 actions. Our first action is going to be a travel action. We just need to get right here because we're going here. I think this is where we're going to find this. It says a group of Pan wanderers has asked us to steal a copy of the book called Gormka from a reclusive scholar who lives nearby. That would make sense. So we're going to give that a try, but to do that we need to travel. Now, I'm not going to use anybody. I just need to go 1 space, so even if we get a 1 or something, we're fine, but we got a 5. So that would allow us to travel 2, but we're just going right here to 137. So let's get that out and check it out, because that's going to be our next action. We're going to explore. An old hut stands on the shore of a rocky island, close enough to the water to be bathed in sea spray every time a wave hits. The hut is built of gray and weathered wood, like driftwood, but it's sturdily constructed and in good repair. If someone lives there, they're nowhere in sight. In the shallow water, you find an old bronze bell mounted on a wood pole. A single sign nailed to the pole reads, "If you are here to return my trunk, ring once and only once. S. Zazie." Well, okay, that's interesting. I think we found a different thing that we're looking for. I didn't realize this was going to be it, but we have this return to sender. We're going to see if this is true. On an island in an old hut and a bell with instructions to ring it once, if you're here to return S. Zazie's trunk. Well, we can do that for sure. Here's the rest of it. We can search the hut. We can ring the bell once. We can ring the bell repeatedly. Both require trunks. He says ring it once and once only. So we're going to do that. We're going to ring it once and once only. That's 137.2, and we'll see what comes of this. So we go in, we ring the bell. We realize we actually do have his trunk. I thought this was going to be with a book, but it's not. Let's see what happens next. The bell rings out far louder than you would have expected from its small size. You feel the sound reverberating through your bones, and your teeth buzz. It's not a pleasant feeling. After a moment, a woman walks out of the water. Her long hair is strange greenish color and falls in chunks around her shoulders. It almost gives the impression of seaweed. "A blathrine," Mac whispers to you. Of course, I don't know what that is. When she sees you all on the shore, she cocks her head to one side quizzically. "How can I help you?" "Are you S. Zazie?" Marco asks. She confirms her identity. When you give her the trunk, she looks delighted. "I was afraid that I'd never see this again. Thank you for your kindness in returning it to me. I've been diving for pearls. I must give you some sort of reward for coming all this way to help me, but I can't think of what. Do you have any ideas? What would you like?" S. Zazie, a blathering pearl diver, asks what you'd like in reward as a reward for the return of her trunk. Ask for some pearls, ask for whatever's in the trunk, ask for the bell. I think we'll ask for some pearls. I don't want her trunk. Obviously, we were giving it back to her, so I don't want that. I wonder if that's the book, though. I don't know. We'll do the pearls. That seems like the logical thing. Right? Money, stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, pearls. Fantastic. That's easy enough, as Zazie presses a few pearls into Mac's hand. Did you know most of the ports around here accept these pearls as substitute currency? Well, it was lovely to meet you all. I'd best be going to get some more. I have quotas. S. Zazie leaves her trunk on the beach as she walks back into the sea. S. Zazie hands you some pearls before returning to the sea. Gain 6 coins. Wow, that was worth it. Now we've got money in the bank too. 1 experience. That is also worth it because we're starting to gain some experience again. So we are up to 3 again. That's good. Of course, I have to find a working pen. So we have 3 experience. That's fantastic. And we complete quest 65, which is this one here. We'll put that in our box of completed stuff. And then it says return to the ship. So, well, we did accomplish something. It just wasn't what we were expecting. And now we got lots of money. Now what? I'm still trying to get this book completed. A book of, it doesn't say where. It says lives nearby. So my thought was that looked like the most logical place, where this little hut was. I guess we'll sail north. Now, this binding divides these 2 sections, so I didn't have to make that check. If I go north here, we're going to go on 18. But that's the end of our turn. So we're going to conclude it there. Then we're going to go back to our board, take another ship action, and see what happens. That was not bad for us at all. And I like it when we get to complete quests. Now, there's not a lot of command tokens to be had, and we don't have any cards. Or enough cards, rather. So I think we definitely want to get some cards. Where do we go? I could go back to the deck. It's going to get us more resources, but I won't get cards that way. I could go to... yeah, I think let's go to the bridge, because then we can get an extra command token from Laurent by visiting the bridge. It'll give us 3 and a card. So let's draw our card first. What is it going to be? Oh, it's just one of these symbols if it's a 4, but it's only cost us 1 to put out. Man, if I gave that to Audrey, she'd be so powerful. We're going to do that right away. So I'm going to spend... This will be Audrey's first generic skill. It's only going to cost us 1 command token, so we're going to do that and place it on Audrey, because that gives her not only 3 craft symbols, so a skill of 3, but with her ability, when we use her for travel, we get to add 2 fate to it. So now we're at a minimum of 5. It'd be very easy to get to a 9, which will allow us to avoid hazards like that. Okay. That's it. So now we're going to then draw a new event card. We're just about to go into the more challenging event cards. A narrow ship approaches. Trade up to 2 materials for 1 coin each. Raid their ship. Gain 1 low morale and 1 grain. Or bid farewell. So we got money. I could get more money. Trade up to 2 materials for 1 coin each. I have 4 materials. 2 coins. Let's do that. We'll trade 2 materials for 2 coins. That seems like a reasonable thing to do, because we do have materials we can repair. We only have 1 damage on our ship right now. There's the materials. And we get 2 more coins, because money, we haven't been able to buy new gear in a while. Of course, we're nowhere near being able to do that. But that ends that. So now we're going to take our next 2 actions. So for our first action, we're going to travel. Once again, I'm not going to use anybody to travel. I just want to get up to this map and see what we're going to see. So we got a 4. That means we get to travel. With a 4, we get to travel 2, but we'll see if we want to do that. We're going to go to page 18. Well, this is kind of interesting. We can travel 2. Right here you can see we're in this really snowy, blizzardy area. We're going to have to make a savvy check, which means we're going to need to test some people, because it's a 6. We won't need to do much. If I use the doctor, for example, he's got 2 savvy. And so does Laurent, but if we use Laurent, he'll be fatigued. I think we're just going to use the doctor. He's going to try and navigate us through this space here. Then we'll decide if we want to stop here or continue on. So he's going to gain 1 fatigue. He has his patch-up skill, which gives him a savvy skill, a savvy symbol, which is this symbol, and his natural skill at that. So let's get the deck out and see if we succeed. We have a 1. Ow, that's really bad. Okay, so we're going to use a command token with Kasumi to use her ability, which will allow us to redraw a 1 card, and that will give us a chance to get a better outcome. I hope we get a better outcome. That would be really bad. We don't need a super high outcome, but I guess we need a 4 or something like that. Hard to say. I don't know what we have left in the deck. What are we going to need? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's go take care of it. So we're going to use that ability. We're going to go back to the deck and see what we do. Okay, so we're still in this space. We need to, at worst case, we're going to take a ship damage, so it's not that bad. Well, we got a 4. I don't know what's left in this deck. This is making me a little nervous. Okay, we got a 4, which means we passed that. Now, is that the place, 151? I guess we'll see. I want to take a look at something too, because we haven't run into any dungeons. That would be interesting. I'm going to check out, I think for our next action, we're not going to continue to sail over here. We will next turn. We need to get a movement of 2. But we're going to check out this place here, 151. Okay, 151. The stony shore is marked by a church steeple stretching into the icy blue sky. A handful of small homes surround the church. Marco is transfixed, a bizarrely familiar sight in an unfamiliar surroundings. He says, "A woman smiles when she sees your group and rushes up to greet you, or more specifically to greet Marco. 'Father,' she says, 'won't you come in?' You find a small community surrounding a church built on a rocky shore. We can enter the church or we can leave." We're going to enter the church. Why the heck not? Let's do that. That's just right down here, so let's see what it gives us to do. Okay, Gregory leans against a wall by the door and glances at Marco. No hard feelings, Padre, but I think I'll wait out here. I'm not really the church-going type. Oh, we learned something little about Gregory Little there. Leaving Gregory where he is, the rest of you walk into the church. It's beautifully constructed. Most impressive of all are the stained glass windows, abstract scenes, and dazzling multicolor. A number of people are congregated into the church. A man seemingly important comes to greet you. He shakes Marco's hand. Welcome, Father, and welcome to your companions as well, of course. You note that Marco is the only person in sight wearing a priest's collar. A man greets you when you enter the church. Ask about their settlement. Unavailable keywords are famine and feast. I don't have either of those. I don't believe. I'm looking through all of my stuff. I don't have famine or feast. I don't have that. We can also go outside and talk to Gregory. We can ask after the residence requires the word feast, or we can trade with the settlers, sell anyone food for 1 coin, return to the ship. Let's ask about the settlement, 151.2, which is right beneath it. Okay? Marco and the man share an extended conversation in Spanish. Afterwards, Marco comes to you and explains, this man is Ricardo Perez. He says these people are a group of mostly architects from our world. They were on their way home from an architectural conference when their passenger ship was transported here. They're not suited to adventure, so they decided not to try and find totems, but to make the best of it and settling down here instead. They are struggling because none of them have practical skills to gather food. They asked if we find any farmers or fishermen looking for a new home, that we send them here. Ricardo nods. It would be a great help to us if you could, only if they want to come, of course. We will welcome them. A group of architects from the world, from your world, decide to put down roots here, but their group lacks people with the skills necessary to grow and catch food. We gain a new quest, 73. Okay, let's get another quest out. I mean, we got quests galore. So many I don't know which ones to do anymore. I'm losing track. Okay, so quest 73, it says, struggling settlement. A settlement of people from Earth is struggling to attract residents with useful skills. Their leader, Ricardo, asks us to send them any farmers or fishermen we run into that are looking for a new home. And it says famine. All right. Well, so we know that we won't be able to do the other thing because it says, does they return to the ship? It does. So we return to our ship at that point. We can continue to adventure, but we'd have to go back there again. So I think we'll call that a day. That is our second action for the turn, so that's all we're going to be able to do. I might be able to go, we could stay there and do a little more discussion, or we can move on to Aurora Township. You know, I don't know why they just don't learn to trade with them. That would make it easy for them, right? But that's not the way it works. So we can head over here. That if we go through here, that might give us some options. We can check this place out. Remember, I'm looking to try and find this heretical book and where that might be. It could be anywhere around where we were talking. There's also this area over here, 199, looks pretty ominous. I'd like to check that out. So what we'll probably do is maybe bypass this, but head over to here in the next episode. Right. So that is going to mark the end of episode 19. I hope you enjoyed it. Next episode 20. Wow. Episode 20 of this playthrough. Now, I've done other games where I've done 30 plus episodes, but it's usually been in multiple playthroughs. Like, for example, I have 30 some odd episodes of Shadows of Brimstone, but it wasn't just one play of Shadows of Brimstone, it was multiple. This is probably the first game that I've done in a series of 20 episodes for the same game. Like, we haven't finished the game yet. And that's crazy, but it's also been really enjoyable. And I know that the viewership has dwindled as time goes on, as it always does, and people lose interest. But I hope you've been enjoying this, because we're getting really close to the finish line, and we're going to get to see how this ends. So take care. I think my next episode is going to be quite a bit longer. I want to blaze through more of the event deck and get us closer to the end. But in the meantime, I also want to make sure we continue to try and find as many totems as we can. I have 3. If I don't know what the magic number is for what we win at, and don't tell me, it's fine. I don't need to know. I want to explore it on my own. It might be 6. The number 6 is ringing a bell, but I'm not sure. Anyway, thanks. I'll talk to you in the next episode. So take care. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.